Up next, we have 3 games in 3 minutes. Oh, wait, no. We don't have 3 games in 3 minutes, actually. This week, we have a preview of Devil May Cry 4. I have played this. Well, I've played previous versions of it and liked it a lot. Anyway, Shane Bettenhausen of Electronic Gaming Monthly is here to talk. He's not here. He stopped by to talk about Devil May Cry 4, so let's take a look at that.
Devil May Cry hit stores in 2001 and has taken the world by storm. Now it's 2008 and Devil May Cry 4 hit stores. And here to talk about it is Shane Bettenhausen, executive editor for Electronic Gaming Monthly. Thank you for joining me again.
As always.
So let's talk about the legacy of Devil May Cry. What's been going on since 1?
Well, the first game was a huge, like a landmark title for the genre because it kind of blended the finesse style-driven gameplay that you saw in like old 2D games and mixed it with like these 3D camera angles a la Resident Evil and kind of created 3D action adventure. And it was just a great game, really balanced, super fun. And the sequels, not so much. DMC2 was like a retread. It felt kind of tepid. And then DMC3 was so hard that nobody could even beat it. They had to go back and re-release it at an easier version just to make it playable, really. So coming into DMC4, everyone wants this to be the return to form, that a solid, balanced game, and it is. And Capcom should be rewarded. It's like a must-have title for action fans.
Well, so let's talk the storyline. So is it continuing from 1, 2, 3, or what was the jump around there to go into 4?
Well, the plots of the other one was first, then 2, and then 3 was a prequel to all of those. So this is actually a sequel to 2. It's the most modern one, but it introduces a whole new character. You start the game as this guy named Nero. He looks a lot like Dante, the old protagonist, but he's a totally new guy. He's young, he's emo, he has a girlfriend he has to go rescue. It's a more realistic story because the old games were kind of silly and stupid, so this takes itself more seriously, definitely.
And so now with the gameplay, what's different about it, and what do you think the gamers are going to look for in this game?
Well, the big change is Nero. He plays differently. He has this magical arm called the Devil Bringer, and with that, you can grab enemies and throw them around. You can also grapple through levels, so they add some platforming elements that are new, and the ability to just toss these enemies around really mixes up the combos, and yeah, it does feel new and fresh.
How are the missions for this?
Well, it's straightforward. It's a linear game. You're going through these levels, fighting but then it mixes it up near the end. After you've played through more than half the game as Nero, you meet Dante, the old star, and you get to play as him. And his gameplay is totally different. He has these crazy weapons. There's one thing called Pandora's Box. It's like a suitcase that transforms into like 20 different weapons, including like a laser and a gyroscopic missile array. It's nuts. So when you get him, the gameplay totally changes, and you're having a great time. But then the game's almost over. So when you finish the game...
But is that the big switch, though, with this? Is you just start out as Nero with the new type of gameplay, and then it's kind of back to the same?
That is kind of the big switch, but then when you get back to Dante, you realize just how different Nero was and how much fun Dante is, so you want to play through the whole game again as him. It's a good trick, and it's a good way to lengthen the experience, because you're going to want to play the game at least twice.
Now, are you going to be able to play all the way through as Nero?
The second time you can, but the first time through, you do have to switch halfway through. Well, and that's one of the problems with the game, is when you go through the whole game as Nero, when you get Dante, you actually backtrack through the entire game and fight all the bosses that Nero fought. So they're kind of like stretching out their content a little thin, but it is so much fun that you're willing to deal with these recycled bosses and levels.
So obviously this is a buy for you, definitely when it comes, when it's out this week, at this point. So it is a buy.
I think so, and even if you're not a big fan, like it does a good job of like telling the backstory. So this is your first DMC. I think you should go for it. It's really the first great action adventure game for both Xbox 360 and PS3. Both versions are great. It's very solid, beautiful graphics. You won't be disappointed.
Now this is on the PS3, Xbox 360, and PC.
Right, PC version coming a little later. It's not ready yet, so look for that in a few months.
Cool. Thanks, Shane.
No
Appreciate
problem,
it. That's Devil May Cry 4. Check it out. Let us know what you think.
Hey! Adios, kid.
Are the spoilers over?
Are they done?
Did I miss it?
I don't want to see anything.
I think it's done.
Is it?
I like Devil May Cry 4, but I don't want to hear spoilers.
I'm going to play it. I don't want to see all the cool stuff and hear all about all the switches and
This is encouraging me to get a next-gen console, though.
I know. It's about time to step up, man.
I'm clutching onto my PS2 with my death
You don't
grip.
have to get rid of it.
No, I don't. It's still running. But anyway, thank you, Shane, for teasing me and for making me plug my ears and not listen to. Thank you for the warning, at least.
I'm gonna
the
go get it
spoiler
today.
alert warning was key. Gave me
go buy
time
it.
to prepare myself.
All right.